Greetings and God bless. I just wanted to share a little bit of my personal experience. There are some demographics of people that I think have an assumption that because of my appearance, this color, that means I am treated like royalty everywhere I go. That people are scattering rose petals everywhere I go. When I see other people of any demographic, certain people think that I am just served chocolate cake and bonbons and given everything I could possibly desire. And I want to let folks know that that is far from the truth. Just because of a certain shade that I have, I am subjected to the same competitive pressures, the same rigorous obstacles that everybody is subjected to. Because this is a human situation we're in. I think some people may be less threatened by me because of my appearance, because of my energy. There are people who have this shade of color that are scary looking. Because would you agree that some people with this epidermis, that some look a lot scarier, like they look like they are murderers or something like that. So I just wanted to put that out there that just because of my epidermis, that does not mean that I have, a red carpet everywhere I go. I just may seem like people are less like, like worried about like physical danger or something like that. But I'm still having to just do what everybody else has to do. And I'm just noticing that I think people here in Rapid City that have a grudge against people with my type of epidermis, they think that I'm like some queen princess that has a red carpet everywhere, and why don't I, give some of my red carpet treatment to them? And the thing is, I'm struggling too. Like, I am really having a hard time myself, and it's not my responsibility to take care of everybody. Just like it's not everybody's responsibility to take care of me unless we have an agreement. Let's say, we have a contract, and I'm purchasing something, or somebody else is purchasing something, then we have an agreement. And I came to Rapid, I assumed that there was a kind of an understood unspoken agreement about we're all equal human beings, live and let live. But no, since I have been here, I have been under kind of a targeting, and uh, and by a certain demographic, and they don't like that I don't want to interact. I don't want to be intimidated. I don't want to be bullied. I don't want to be gang stalked. And there's like this, like people are holding a grudge that I don't want to interact with abusive, toxic people. And it's a very strange thing. I've never been treated like so, like where a group of people is dehumanizing because of my epidermis and some sense of entitlement to a piece of me, uh, that I'm supposed to entertain them while they tell me offensive stories about Lord Jesus Christ, or while they tell me disgusting, making innuendo when I'm talking about Jesus Christ. So it's like Rapid City has been very an eye opener, and it's very dehumanizing. And yes, there's nice people. I have met nice people of all shades of color, of epidermis, but it's definitely been the most dehumanizing experience for me, when an oppressed group is being the oppressor, and in a shameless, consistent targeting kind of way. I definitely feel like a targeted person here. Um, and I've observed it. Like yesterday, I was walking, and there was this kind of narrow walkway, and There's a certain demographic of people that are staggering and stumbling and lurching as they're walking, and they're just taking up the whole sidewalk, and it's literally like that. And I'm just I just want to go away. I don't want to deal with them. And this guy was going to bump into me in this narrow thing, and I was thinking, should I go down this alley? I mean, that is my mentality as a pedestrian here in Rapid City. Is like, okay, who's going where? I have to have like amped up situational awareness when I'm on the sidewalk here, not to mention the aggressive drivers who have a lead foot as they're peeling out of a driveway, peeling out of the alley, even though it's a major pedestrian throughway. It's amazing that there aren't like major accidents. I mean, maybe there are and it's hidden. I mean, that's how it was in Rapid City. Cops were there not to really direct traffic or prevent anything, they just cleaned up the glass. So tourists and locals wouldn't be disturbed. So, and again, this is just, we are in a fallen world and Satan is the ruler of earth, and everybody's just keeping their head down, trying to maintain the status quo so that they have their comforts. And there's double standards. Like the only people that can be wrong is people with my type of epidermis, and other shades can do whatever they want to do. And like what there is no uh like there is no entire group of people that is perfect. Humans are humans, so there's going to be some crummy ones and some good ones, but there's definitely this mentality I find here in Rapid of entitlement and hostility, and like and yet they want me to be friendly. Like, how is that? What it's just, it doesn't make sense to me. um and yeah, it boggles my mind, and so I just wanted to put that out there, because I grew up in New York City. There were just all sorts of people, and I take people as they are. And I just don't like that here. There's certain demographic that think they can be dehumanizing repeatedly to me, like to target me, because this group of people is shipped in from a place, and I think that they're brought here to panhandle and they pool the money, and maybe it's a pimp that's making them do that. I don't know, but and I'm using pimp in a human trafficking kind of a way. And so I exit. I'm walking on a particular street where these folks always are, and it's been like a year and a half. And I'm a all season pedestrian. I like to be out in wintertime. Oh, now I mean I've become a recluse because of the aggressive panhandling. But before, I would be out in all seasons, so they would see me. I would be like the only white lady walking, and they were, they wanted their money, they wanted their tourist shakedown money, and they just saw my epidermis, and I must owe them because of my epidermis. I mean, that is the logic here. And is that ethical? Is that really right? Like, and I know there's people who are going to be like, yeah, that's right, you should pay. And that's insanity, folks. And this is what I'm having to deal with. And so, you know if a group of people is being inhumane to somebody, or to a group of people, if a group of people is being inhumane to another group of people, and that group of people is like, I don't want to deal with you, that's not it's not my fault. I'm not a bad person if I'm being targeted and subjected to hostility. Like, I'm not bad because I want to avoid that hostility. I'm not bad because I want to avoid that targeting. And there's other people with my epidermis who aren't doing anything about it. They are not protecting me. And So, it's like people have this assumption, certain people have this assumption that people with this type of epidermis have there's a red carpet, bed of roses, everybody, treats you like a queen, which is not the case. I think there's some sort of weird delusion that folks have because people with my epidermis just have to deal with the same crap. We're dealing with crap just like else is dealing with crap. And and so, if I'm being abused by a group of people and I don't want to be abused by that group of people, that's a reasonable thing. That's a sane thing. And it's, like, there's mean people with my epidermis that I avoid as well. So if you're a jerk, or if you're part of a jerky gang, of a mean gang, of a hostile, violent gang, maybe the reason why people don't want to be around you is because you're a jerky person. You're part of an aggressive, hostile gang, and it may not have to do with anything else, but this malicious behavior you demonstrate. And you don't, if you're demonstrating malicious, hostile, aggressive behavior consistently, that person has a right to have boundaries. It's not you just because you want to be mean, toxic, and abusive, just because you want to doesn't mean you get to, and it's not that that person is bad for saying they don't want to accept your toxic, abusive, hostile behavior. And it's absolutely ridiculous. I'm having to have this conversation or this dialogue or monologue about this, but that is what I find to be the case here. Like the gang here resents that I don't want to interact with them. And the thing is, so there's a lot of abusive, toxic, mean people that are like that feel entitled to terrorize me. So let's say I be nice to this one group, and then the creepy person, starts in on me, which has happened to me. I gave out a Bible tract, and some creepy guy started telling me a horrible story about Jesus. And I'm supposed to love it. I'm supposed to uh, take it. I don't know, take it with a grain of salt. And you know what? I just don't have. I'm so burnt out on being subjected to hostility here in Rapid. I just don't have it in me. And there, like, nobody is entitled to my audience. Nobody is entitled to my attention. Nobody's entitled to get to beat me up. Just because of my dermatology, my skin. So I just wanted to put that out there, and it's so horrible that I'm having to say this. So it's so absolutely ridiculous. It's just such a sign of how devolved America has become that I have to explain what I'm telling you. It's so basic, it's so obvious, it's so fundamental, but folks are not up to like they don't realize what's going on. They don't care, and they're so emotionally stunted and ethically deranged that they just don't realize what's going on. And the thing is, like, uh, some people are very insulated, they're protected, they're sheltered, so they don't realize how challenging some other people have it. And I'm not going to tell everybody I'm talking with about this because nobody wants to hear such depressing news. Um, but if what I'm saying is so mind-boggling, surreal, it's not that it's not real. It's just that you're sheltered and you're blessed. You don't have to deal with this kind of crap, but it's still real. And don't assume when you have all these things that give you leverage and status. Don't assume everybody else has that quality of life. Other people have a really challenging quality of life, and yeah. It's just wanted to put that out there. So thanks for listening. God bless.